I'm stupid. I'm worthless. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. These were the things I kept on telling myself over and over again 4 years ago when I was diagnosed as clinically depressed. But they expect you to be perfect. They ask, why? You come from a good family, you have good friends, you come from a good school, you're in a good relationship. But deep down inside, I was lost, broken. And truth be told, I was dead. According to the World Health Organization, mental health is a person's ability to cope with the everyday stresses of life fruitfully and positively by having a contribution to your community. It comprises of your social, emotional, and psychological well-being. Yet, depression is the world's leading work disability. In 6 million, there are only 700 registered psychiatrists. That's less than 1 to 250,000 ratio. So going back to my story, and what was my first impression when they diagnosed me as clinically depressed? 1, I was in denial. No, I'm not depressed. 2, I was ashamed to talk about it. They expect you to look good all the time, to be perfect. I didn't want to appear weak. And 3, I thought I didn't deserve to be treated. I thought that people with fever, children that are hungry, people with cancer deserve to be treated more than me. I told them I don't need medication, I don't need treatment, I don't need help, and I don't need anyone. But ironically enough, these were the things that I needed the most. Doctor, are you undergoing chemo? Yet, when someone is depressed or has mental illnesses or heavy cases like schizophrenia, we whisper, we go behind their backs. We call them may sira sa ulo, baliw, nag-iinarte lang. We think about that crazy man on the street. And the only time we lend a hand is when it's too late. When we've already lost a loved one's life to suicide. And then we think to ourselves, what could have we done? How could I have helped? We need to stop stigmatizing the disease and traumatizing the afflicted. Our ignorance towards mental health makes us lose empathy towards those who need it the most. So don't be afraid to speak your truth. Because being honest about how we feel doesn't make us weak. It just makes us human. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable. There's power in vulnerability. Pain and disruption connects us. A good support system around me. They put me on medications. I tried for a while to avoid, but I felt that it wasn't for me. So I opted for different ways of medication. So I went the natural way.
Natural meaning?
Natural meaning I had to force myself so much. I had to exercise a lot. Yoga really helped me, meditation. Unable to do the things I used to do, so I'm unable to work. I can't think straight. And this is long feelings of sadness for more than 2 weeks. Being sad is not feeling depressed. So there's a common misconception in society today that, oh, depressed, so sadness is not being depressed. And so I couldn't function well, I couldn't talk well, all these thoughts come into my head, I couldn't speak. If I was depressed, why didn't you let me stand here? I would just speak like this.
Right. I'm a parent and I'm eavesdropping in this conversation. How would I know the difference between naiinarte and depression?
I think there are certain symptoms of depression.
May signs.
There are
May
signs of
symptoms.
depression.
Okay.
Either too much or lack of sleep. Too much eating, too less eating. Alienating yourself from community, from your friends. Different habits. When you, of course we all have our normal habits, but when you see something that's off already, then that may be a sign of depression. Suicidal tendencies is one of the biggest things when they talk about death, when they talk about not being here in the world already, when they talk about I don't matter anymore.
When did you know that you crossed the line? I mean, when you crossed the line to becoming better?
I only knew happiness when I knew sadness. So, because I knew sadness, now I can say that I'm happy. And when I saw, because I believe that when you have depression, you live with it. So I know for me, it's always going to be there, but I have to keep myself healthy so that it doesn't come back. So when I knew na parang malayo na yung depression, then I knew that I'm okay.
Thank you for sharing this.